Oh, this is going to be a good one. So, welcome everybody to Mindful Politics as we talk about something a little bit more lighthearted today. The funniest thing to me is happening. So, what I'm going to be showing you in a minute is this clip of people literally chanting "fuck Joe Biden," and this reporter, this person who interviewing Brandon, literally was either dumb enough to think they were saying "let's go Brandon," or what I'm starting to think is they just had to cover it up, and I'll explain why that is in a minute. But first, let's hear this because it's a funny sale to me. So, here we go.
Everything we've hoped and dreamed for. This is everything I've ever wanted to do is take the trophy home to mom and dad, and oh my God, thank you so much, Larry's Lemonade. Thank you so much, Trade the Chain. Thank you so much, Jabs Construction. Thank you, Mid-Atlantic. Thank you to all of our partners. Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, "Let's go, Brandon." Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so much that it was kind of like, okay, let's just...
Oh. So, this is the funniest thing to me because, honestly, this is something we should have seen coming. Because the Democrats were literally telling people to literally vote for anybody but Trump. Literally, their whole shtick last year was saying that they will vote for anybody but Trump. I think there was one person that literally wrote an article saying that, "Joe, please stay alive until Trump, or until you get elected," or whatever. You don't even have to do anything. And that's the problem, is we had nobody who was even close. Like, there were some people there were some really good politicians. There were some really good ideas from politicians and people, like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, and even Bernie Sanders, even though I think he's far left and a little too far left. I would have rather him, because, him and he wouldn't be able to get through everything because Congress is not going to be as far left as he is, and they're going to be stopping some of this and it's going to balance some of this out. And so I would have preferred even him over Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is, come on, man. What do you mean? Come on, man. You know the thing. Like, he's I hate to say it, but he's got dementia. He's got some kind of mental problems. And it's clear to see if you're not biased towards the left. If you're not extremely biased towards the left. I mean, you can be biased towards the left. You can be liberal. But it's one thing to be a liberal, and then there's another thing. It's another thing to be blindly, tribally biased towards liberalism, and towards, in particular, the Democratic Party. And that's where we get this. There was for a couple of days, there was bare shelves Biden was a thing. Bare shelves Joe, because the economy that he's presiding under is worse than it was under Trump. What worse than it was under Trump's COVID policies, and we can argue about how Trump's policies in COVID was maybe not the most best in that situation. I think he could have done a little bit more in some ways, and in some ways he could have kind of kept some of the mask situations or whatever, if that's really what's necessary. But he was kind of stuck, and for a time, just like everybody else, he was kind of like not really focused on it as much, like January, February, and that's the time he should have been really really going into it, and he didn't really do that, either because he didn't realize it was going to be this big or this bad, or, other reasons. But then we have Joe Biden, who has basically presided over the worst economy in a while. Like 4 million. It's kind of crazy to me. Like, there's 4 million jobs that people, they're looking for work. 4 million job openings, but no takers, really, for the most part. And it's because the Democrats said, no, let's get Trump out of office. We don't care. We can put a wet blanket in office, and that'll be better than Trump. And it wasn't. And that's what they did. Biden is a wet blanket. So here we are. Ridiculous. And this is why you don't just say, oh, I want to vote this person out, without having a good candidate, another good candidate. And at this point, though, anybody else would be better than Biden. Like, literally, I could have voted in a rubber duck as president, and he would have done better than Biden. But that's the problem, is that we don't really have media that's being honest. They're covering up everything about Biden's failures, or they're blaming it on Trump, or they're blaming it on COVID, and it's not that simple. And that's the problem, is that you don't really get honest media and journalism, because they made the mistake. They did. They made the mistake of saying, vote Trump out no matter what. And now we have the result from that. And that result is economic collapse. Enjoy. So, all I have to say to that is, let's go, Brandon. And I'm going to play that clip again because it's so perfect. And I'll end with that.
This is just everything we've hoped and dreamed for. This is everything I've ever wanted to do is take the trophy home to mom and dad. And oh my God, thank you so much, Larry's Lemonade. Thank you so much, Trade the Chain. Thank you so much, Jabs Construction. Thank you, Mid-Atlantic. Thank you to all of our partners. Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so much that it was kind of like, okay, let's just...
So one thing I forgot to add was that this was, I don't think I pointed this out, but this was actually from a NASCAR race where there was the winner, Brandon, I think it was Brandon Brown. And I just can't get over this stupid shit. It's so funny. And what's funny about it too is that there were a bunch of musicians, rappers that covered it. Like it was like the songs were like number 1, 2, and 3, and I think even 8 at one point. I don't know if it's still 1, 2, and 3, but that's what it was for like a day or two. Yeah, it's too funny. Anyways, talk to y'all later, and let's go, Brandon.